What is going on, family? Happy Saturday, happy Sunday, depending on the time you're watching this. We wanted to quickly go over, some weekly overview. So I'm first going to be looking at the currencies. All right. So as you guys can see here, we have our Australian dollar, which is the first currency that I look at. We had a head and shoulder pattern formed maybe around um, beginning of June ish. Now we're looking for this pattern here, as you guys can see. So we're looking to see if we have let's see, let me make sure this is going on good. All right, so you can see that we have this bearish momentum. All right, overall is bearish. All right, it's a lot of stuff I can draw just for us to see what's going on. I'd like to go a bit deeper. So for example, this right here. All right, so if I do, let's do this. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's look at it this way. All right, so currently right now, right, this would be the bullish or the bearish momentum. All right, then we have this going. So as of right now, the Australian dollar is in a oh my god, I need some water. It's in a temporarily bullish momentum, right? Why? Because it's in a buy zone here. It's in a buy zone here. All right. In order to consider this, we have two areas that the price could reject, right here and right here. All right. So this is price trap. So in the upcoming week, we just have to wait and see if we're going to see this or we're going to see this. If it gets weak, then we're looking at something else. If it gets strong, then we're looking at something else. Right, that completely changes the direction of Australian dollar, right? AD/USD. So next week we'll go for buys, we'll go for sales based on what the market gives us. All right, so it's a lot that is at stake when it comes to what we see here. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So let's look at. So right now I can't tell what's going to happen. Well, right now it's bullish. All right, for next week, right now it's bullish, but then it's stuck at a high, stuck at a low point to see where it's going to break out at. All right, just looking to see where it's going to break out at. So I'm going to leave this right here. Let's see the back in time. All right, this is overall downtrend, but this is a counter, as we see, right? It's a counter, right? It broke out on the upside, but then it had this high, equal high. Then it started. It made a lower high, right? So we have a higher high, higher low, equal high, lower low, right? So it's not trending. So we need to have it to break out or continue the pattern. Okay. Then let's go to British pound. British. All right, so this right now is my swag. I'm playing. Oh, so ugly. Right, when I take everything out, you can see that, you can clearly see that we have a market that is pretty on the, and I'm looking at this on a 4-hour time frame. Excuse me, the pound is not looking really good. Okay, but can we see something? So as you guys can see here, this is a small bearish momentum started July 15th ish, about 10 days ago. I got some small bullish momentum ish happening here. I mean bearish momentum. So this one, I'm not too keen on trading British pound. If you scalp, cool, but I'm not too keen on it. I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, Canadian dollar. We have a little. Yeah, the market this summer. Summer is like summer is not summer. You're all right. So I have this base off of these high, these lows. All right, so I do this trend line off this high right here. So we have, of course, if you go to the candlestick, you're gonna see a lot of touches. Or the right, so we got this here as well. Okay. Now, if it was respecting it, it should have come back down here. Again, this looks similar to Australian dollar, right? Very similar to Australian dollar, right? Which is a Canadian dollar, like very similar. So for this, for the week, I'll wait out and see if we'll see a breakout here, or now I'm choosing here because then we'll see the breakout. Okay, so I'm picking this low, not this low, because this is still be in a buy zone. So this high, this low, to see if it's going to break out. But if it keeps consolidating, then Canadian dollar is not going to look too good or off a pair to trade. All right, then we have the U.S. Perfect, right? So this is what we considered a completed flag pattern, right? This is I was saying this the last video that I did, right? This is a continuation pattern, so this is good for us to see in real time. And I was saying this over and over. For those students that are in the private classes, you guys know what I talk about, right? This is for the public. You guys can look at what I'm looking at, and it's cool. But for the private students, you know what I'm talking about. All right, then for those that's in my company, you'll see this on the if you go to the recorded session from last week, you'll see what I was talking about. Okay, so here you can see that we have a flag pattern. It broke out, perfect, right? So the dollar is strong. Okay, so that helps me to identify what I need to do for my pairs: AUD USD, NZD USD, GBP USD, EUR USD, USD CAD, USDCHF, USD CAD, USD, what's that? CHF, yeah, I think CHF or something like that. Okay, so you guys would know exactly what I'm doing here. So perfect. So next, I just realized you guys can't really see what's there. Even though I know what they are, but you guys can't tell what they are. So let me make it like this so you guys can tell. All right, so this is USD. So the dollar is good. Next one we have would be Euro. All right, so Euro is weak. Right, guys can see it's a downtrend. You can see this inverted flag pattern. Right, well, this is a flag pattern, and it broke. Right, so again, this is a what I call a continuation pattern. Right, some of you guys can see it, some of you guys can't. See the flag pattern is here. If I change the color, then you probably will see. Oh yeah, that's a flag pattern. So let me see if I can change it, right, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, so there's a flag pattern here. Okay, so I made it red because it's bearish. Okay, so you can see the flag pattern here. So I made that red, Euro red, because it's bullish, bearish. Oh my God, today it's early. Japanese yen is bearish as well. You can clearly see that. All right, if I make this a little bit tighter. All right, so we can clearly see. I can even make this wider. All right, so made it off of this. All right, if you change it to, you can see right here too. All right, you can see right here too. All right, price is respecting. All right, so this is following a channel. So yen is totally weak. Then we have Swiss franc. All right, Swiss franc is weak too, but it's a bit on the. All right, so let's make that wider as well. Since it went wide, let's do this. All right, make this a bit as well. Couldn't quite keep it. Let's just do it from here. Let's do it from here. Let's see. All right, cool. All right, not a straight channel that I want to see. I don't know. I put it here the last time, but it should be from the lows, from the higher lows, and going down, and etc. I don't gotta be perfect, but this clearly tells me we're in a downtrend. So we can possibly have a pullback with Swiss franc. I have a pullback here, and before it goes back down. All right, so you don't just think that the market is just going to push down just because you see that, right? We can possibly have this before it start pushing back down. right? So that is what I'm looking for, especially with all of them. New Zealand dollar is blah 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 blah. It's this is like this is similar to British pound, right? Ugly. So I'm just gonna stay out of this. I'm not even gonna try to trade New Zealand dollars. So let's go look at the pairs. So sometime last week, right? Or I don't know when it was. We talked about this. Talked about USDJPY pushing up, right? Because yen is weak, right? So you can see here, the yen is weak. So you can clearly tell the USDJPY is gonna push up. It's clear as day. All right. So we have this in play. We have this here. It's in play. So it's pushing up just like this. We got break and retest, push up. All right. So we got that 10%. Right. I got a 10% from that. Nice play. So 10% from one trade. From 1 week. Pretty cool. And this is how I usually trade. I usually try to get these big moves. 5, 10%, 50 pips, 100 pips. Off of a trade, and then that's it. We're at 20%, 20 pips stop loss. Okay. So, all right. So this trade is over with. But where can we get another trade, right? So you see the triangle that we've seen here. So I could delete all this. I don't need it. Right. And again, I did a lot of explanation then. So this is why we go through these things here. So you can see that it needs to come back to some type of so let's do this. Right, it needs to come back to some type of. All right, so I think I'm gonna do it here. Right, it needs to come back and retest. All right, so can we get that? Maybe. Is it gonna happen? Maybe. All right, so you can try to do the best that you can when it comes to these type of things, but when it's gonna happen, we don't know, right? Can it continue pushing up? Yes, it definitely can.
Motion at your spotlight cam.
Right, so this is not like something that is destined to happen. All right, so can it push back like so, and then push back up? Yes. Is that gonna happen? Don't know. Don't know. Do not know. All right, so let's make that. All right, so is that gonna happen? That's a good about 70 pips or so. Push down and go back up. Next week, yes, that could definitely happen. When it's gonna happen, I have no idea. Right, so this is an overview as well that we talked about, and look at this. This trade went pretty okay, but look how long it's taken just to hit TP, 50 pips. Right, this is why scalping is also a major factor in my decisions throughout the week. So remember, CAD we don't have nothing there, but USD is shooting up, right? USD is at the front, so I'm looking for this to shoot up as well. To be bullish. Okay, I gotta write this down. All right, but I'm not too confident with this, so I'm gonna keep this trade as it was last week. I had that in last week, so I'm gonna leave it as is. I'm not gonna do a new one because it hasn't hit TB, so there's no point. USDCHF, perfect, right? It's an uptrend, right? Because the dollar is strong. So where can we get into a possible trade? Now we see a lot of higher highs. For example, we see a higher high here, we see a higher high there, we see a higher high, a whole bunch of pushes up and down, right? But what I believe that, let's see something with USD CAD. Oh no, let's leave that there. All right, so let's look at possible comeback to this high. Let's see where it makes sense. And this on the 4 hour, right? Let's see. I have this big spike right here, right, and it pushed down. Right, now let me see if this will make sense if I go ahead and I back test it. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see if we back test it, how that would actually look like. Let's go ahead and back test it. See what happened in the past. Perfect. Okay, we don't have much. Oh, it's a little bit below that. Let's go to daily. Let's see. It looks like there's not much activity around this area at all. So since the market broke out in 2025 of last year, I mean June 25th of 2025, it hasn't gotten past this level except till now. So it's been a whole, yeah, a whole year that the price has been below that mark, and before that, that was 2011. Price was below this, so it's been above this most of the time. Let's see. Okay, that's interesting, huh? 15 years ago, apart from last year, was the last time it was below, that 81 500 ish mark. That's interesting to see. I didn't realize that till now. That's very interesting to see. All right, so what am I gonna do here? Let's go back to 4 hour. Now I chose this particular mark because that's what I do. It's something called quarter theory. Right. So let's see. Let me see if this. I might want to wait this out and see what the market do throughout the week. Right. I might not want to touch this. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna force nothing. All right. So USD, Euro USD, we have something as well. As as guys can see here, right? Very very important, right? So we're looking at this here. Is very key. All right. So this is very key, very important. To look at this. Okay. So this as well. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. Actually, let's leave it. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. How it looks. We're just gonna leave it just like that. All right. So hopefully we get this again. I explained this in the YouTube video prior to this. Or did I? Oh no, this was last week. We just waited. It finally broke out. So this one, I'm gonna leave it as is. If it gets back to um 1400 or 14,000, then we can get in. But if it don't, then it's already done for. Right. That's why you gotta make sure that what do you call it, you subscribe, and make sure that you have the what do you call it, the bell on, the notification bell. So once I upload something, you guys can get it. Okay. Then we have GBP USD. So EU is good. Is fine. That is bearish. GU should be bearish as well. Woo! We eating that. So we'll leave that alone. All right. Again, that was based on the previous video that was sent out. All right. So again, so all my entries are on a 15-minute time frame. Nothing more. Then we got NZD USD. I'm not touching this. Got 80 USD. I'm not. I'm not touching this as well. Oh no, we can touch this. Let's see. So again, I'm looking for sales, right? Because the dollar's strong. So I'm looking for sales here. We had that high, the low, it broke, it retested, right? So this is what we're looking for. So looking for the sell, looking for sell, a bullish momentum here. All right, so bam, perfect. So looking for a seller's market. We're in a seller's market looking for. You see how I already know if I'm going for sell or buy. This is what you should already know before you enter the market. You're not trying to like, you should know that just by looking at correlation, looking at price, what's going on. You should know if you're selling or buying before you get in. You're not trying to, like all this foolishness. Okay, perfect. Now this needs to go below this in order to buy, in order to sell. Sorry, because is this considered a flag pattern? Oh, could be, could be. So I can't sell here though. I need to sell below this. Yeah, I can't sell that because that's right inside of the flag pattern, right? It needs I need to see it below the flag pattern before I could get in to this particular trade. I cannot get into that. Cannot get into that. This price has to be. Oh, let me see. It has to break. Price has to break that in order for me to get into. So it has to be here. This is the entry that I'm looking to get into. All right, so this is more so where I'm looking to get into, right? So is it creating like a head and shoulder pattern? I don't know. So I need to see this. All right, more candles form, and then create it outside of this. Then that'll be a completed flag pattern, right? Only when it's completed, then you're looking to get into this trade, this trade here. Does that make sense to you? So then we're looking for the short. Okay, the short. Perfect. Perfecto. Perfecto. There we go. Or I could go for the Hono. It's 100. Right. So this is more so what I'm looking for. So now what I'm waiting for is just throughout the week. I'm just waiting for the market to do its thing. Just be patient and wait. At your spotlight cam. Right. So I'm just waiting, patiently waiting for the market to do its thing, and that's it. All right. That's it. So that's the last one that I'll be looking for. And of course, we got gold. I don't really touch gold like that. It's not really my thing, but it's, as you guys can see, it's bearish. Right, so you can definitely get into some type of bearish sell, and that's it. So that's what I wanted to go over today. I hope you guys have a great, prosperous week coming up. Last week of July, last week of the first part of the second half of the year. All right. God bless you. Peace. Mr. Duncan signing out. Peace out.